Have you ever wondered why, even though you eat well, exercise, and follow all the right habits, your legs still feel weaker? Why do stairs seem steeper than before? Why does standing up from a chair take longer than it used to? Is it just aging, or could there be something else silently working against you? Here's where things get interesting. It's not always about what you're not doing. Sometimes the damage comes from something you're already doing without even realizing it. Most seniors make a quiet, daily mistake with full confidence, believing they're doing something good because they've always heard that fruit is healthy, natural, and beneficial. And for the most part, that's true. But here's the reality nobody talks about. Not every fruit is ideal for people over 60. In fact, some fruits that we regularly consume thinking they're helpful can gradually weaken our legs, trigger joint pain, fuel inflammation, and make walking more difficult. Fruits praised as healthy may actually undermine your balance, leg strength, and mobility. As we age, our bodies change. Circulation slows, metabolism shifts, and foods that once supported our health can begin to cause harm. Some fruits might taste sweet and look innocent, but they're loaded with acids, sugars, and compounds that spike blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and contribute to weakening legs. The worst part? The damage sneaks up slowly. One day, you might notice sharp pain in your calves, persistent aching in your thighs, or unusual tightness in your knees after just a short walk. Today, I'm going to share the 7 worst fruits seniors over 60 should avoid, especially if you want to protect your legs from chronic pain, weakness, or mobility loss. These fruits may seem harmless, but after hearing the truth, you might never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So stay with me till the end if your strength matters to you and you want to keep your legs strong, stable, and pain-free. Your body might be waiting for this wake-up call. But before we dive in, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications if you care about your health, because here we uncover the truths nobody else talks about. If you're watching right now and this message hits home, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your voice truly matters. Let's begin with the first fruit. It's often celebrated for fighting inflammation, but it might actually be doing the opposite for seniors. Let's talk about pineapple. Pineapple, the anti-inflammatory backfire. Tropical, juicy, and refreshing, pineapple has long been known for its anti-inflammatory properties thanks to a compound called bromelain. But here's the twist. While pineapple might help some people, it could quietly be harming others, especially older adults. Why? Because pineapple is high in natural sugars and strong acids. And those sugars aren't as harmless as they appear, particularly if you're over 60. Let me explain. As we age, our blood vessels become more delicate and sensitive. They no longer handle sugar spikes the way they once did. Pineapple, despite its benefits, delivers a significant amount of natural sugar into your bloodstream. That causes a sharp spike in blood sugar levels, which can damage the tiny blood vessels that supply your legs, feet, and muscles. Over time, as circulation weakens, less oxygen reaches those areas, and that leads to pain, fatigue, and swelling. That dull ache in your legs after a walk, stiffness in your knees when standing, ankle pain after sitting. Pineapple could be playing a role, but there's more. Its acidity can irritate joints, especially if you already suffer from inflammation or arthritis. It's like adding fuel to a fire. Some seniors even report their legs feeling heavy after eating pineapple, as if their strength is slowly draining. And if you take medication, especially blood thinners, there's more to watch out for. Bromelain can interfere with certain drugs, either boosting or weakening their effects. But here's the real danger. Pineapple doesn't trigger immediate, obvious side effects. It works slowly, and by the time you notice changes in your mobility, the damage may already be done. The saddest part? Most seniors eat pineapple believing it's good for them. But if you're experiencing leg pain or unexplained swelling, it may be time to reconsider. You don't need to hate pineapple, but you do need to understand its effects. If a fruit known for anti-inflammation can do this, what about the next one? Let's move on to bananas. Bananas, the misleading muscle booster. Soft, sweet, and rich in potassium, bananas are often praised as the go-to fruit for energy and muscle support. They're known to prevent cramps, fuel workouts, and promote muscle health. But for older adults, the story can be very different. Bananas are packed with natural sugar and fast-digesting carbohydrates. That means after eating one, your blood sugar spikes quickly. When this happens frequently, it contributes to insulin resistance. And when insulin doesn't work properly, inflammation rises, circulation worsens, and your legs feel the consequences. That familiar soreness when climbing stairs, heaviness in your legs after meals, morning stiffness in your calves, bananas could be involved. What's more, bananas cause fluid retention, especially in people with heart concerns leading to swelling in the feet and ankles and tighter joints. Here's the tricky part. The effects aren't immediate. You eat them thinking they're helping your muscles, but over time, they may be quietly draining your strength. Bananas feel like a safe choice, but if your legs often feel heavy or achy, they might be part of the problem. And that's just the second fruit. Let's move on to one that's even smaller, but potentially just as harmful. Let's talk about grapes. The tiny trigger for inflammation. Grapes, small, juicy, and often praised for their antioxidant benefits, can be a surprising source of discomfort for seniors. They are marketed as heart-healthy, easy to eat, and packed with nutrients. But here's the hidden truth. They also carry a high amount of fructose, a type of sugar that can quietly cause big problems. Fructose is absorbed directly by the liver, and when consumed in excess, it gets converted into fat and uric acid. When your liver can't process it all efficiently, that uric acid builds up in the joints, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees. This can lead to swelling, discomfort, and that all-too-familiar burning sensation, particularly at night or after physical activity. Have you ever felt a sharp pain in your big toe while trying to sleep? Or unexplained stiffness in your calves in the morning? Even a handful of grapes can be enough to elevate uric acid levels and provoke inflammation. The problem gets worse because grapes are so easy to overeat. They're bite-sized, light and sweet, making it easy to consume 2 or 3 cups without realizing it. And that sugar, it builds up quickly, leading to blood sugar fluctuations and chronic inflammation. Over time, this can reduce your leg flexibility, increase joint stiffness, and contribute to that heavy, dragging sensation in your lower body. If you've been snacking on grapes regularly and notice increasing discomfort in your legs, it may be worth reconsidering your habits. Let's now turn to a fruit that feels as innocent as water, but maybe just as sneaky. Next up is watermelon. Watermelon, the deceptive hydrator. Light, refreshing, and seen as the perfect summer snack, watermelon seems like a safe, hydrating fruit. But there's a catch. Despite being made mostly of water, watermelon has a very high glycemic index. That means it raises your blood sugar rapidly, almost like eating candy. In older adults, this is a serious concern. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at handling blood sugar spikes. When insulin function declines, inflammation increases, especially in areas with poor circulation like the legs. This can show up as leg fatigue shortly after eating, a dull ache during short walks, or swelling around the ankles that seems to come out of nowhere. Watermelon might feel light and harmless, but on the inside, it's acting like a sugary trap. Because it's so juicy and pleasant, people often eat more than they realize. 1 slice turns into 3, and sugar intake skyrockets. That sugar fuels inflammation and puts stress on your circulatory system, silently contributing to discomfort and reduced mobility. Is watermelon truly hydrating seniors, or is each bite subtly adding to their leg pain? If you've noticed your legs feeling more tired than usual, it may be time to rethink this summertime favorite. Now, let's move on to a fruit that's everywhere, on breakfast tables, in juices, and in supplements. It's time to talk about oranges. Oranges, the acidic joint aggravator. Oranges are vibrant, fragrant, and a staple in many diets, especially for their reputation as a rich source of vitamin C. From morning juice to immune-boosting drinks, they're considered essential for health. But for people over 60, there's another side to oranges that deserves attention. What makes them potentially harmful? It's the acid, specifically citric acid. Oranges are packed with it. While this might not be a problem for younger bodies, aging joints can be more sensitive to acids. If you already suffer from arthritis, inflammation, or joint stiffness, citrus can worsen those symptoms. You might notice increased knee stiffness in the morning, dull hip pain throughout the day, or swelling in your legs after prolonged sitting. It's easy to blame aging, but the routine glass of orange juice might be making things worse. Here's what actually happens. The acid from oranges enters your bloodstream and irritates sensitive joint tissues. And when you add natural sugars from the fruit into the mix, it can trigger blood sugar spikes, another factor that feeds inflammation. The result? More pain, less mobility, and slower mornings. Your knees, calves, and ankles may feel heavier with each step. Oranges aren't inherently bad, but they may no longer be the best fit for seniors with existing joint or circulatory concerns. The hardest part? Many older adults consume oranges with the best intentions, trying to be healthy. But it may be doing more harm than good. If oranges can be problematic, what about a fruit that seems even cleaner and crisper? Let's take a look at green apples. Green apples. The unexpected cause of leg discomfort. Crisp, tart, and seemingly the healthier option. Green apples are often favored for their lower sugar content. But beneath that wholesome exterior lies a duo of issues for older adults: malic acid and hidden natural sugars. Malic acid gives green apples their sharp flavor. But as we age, our digestive and joint tissues become more delicate. Malic acid can irritate, both leading to digestive discomfort and even joint irritation in sensitive individuals. Some seniors report experiencing hip pain, thigh soreness, or a warm, tight sensation in their knees after eating green apples. While it might seem like coincidence, over time, that acid builds up and the discomfort becomes more noticeable and frequent. Now let's talk sugar. Even though green apples don't taste very sweet, they still contain natural sugar. In aging bodies with slower metabolism, this sugar can cause blood sugar swings, leading to nighttime leg cramps, morning stiffness, and fatigue while walking. Worse still, green apples are commonly eaten raw and on the go, often just before bed or as a snack. That means their effects accumulate consistently. What appears to be a clean, nutritious fruit may be quietly stiffening joints and making evenings more restless. Next, let's discuss the final fruit on our list, one that's tropical, sweet, and often eaten as a treat. Let's take a closer look at mangoes. Mangoes, the hidden sugar bomb. Juicy, smooth, and beloved around the world, mangoes are often seen as a delicious, natural indulgence. But for seniors, this fruit may be one of the most deceptively harmful, especially when it comes to joint health and leg strength. What's the problem? The sheer amount of natural sugar packed inside. Mangoes don't just contain a bit of sweetness, they deliver a serious sugar load that can cause a rapid rise in blood glucose levels. That might not seem like a big deal if you're young and active, but once you're over 60, your body processes sugar differently. Each spike in blood sugar prompts an insulin surge, followed by a crash. This repeated pattern leads to inflammation, particularly in sensitive joint tissues like those in your knees, ankles, and hips. You might feel a tingling in your toes, a dull burn in your feet, or swelling in your lower legs by the end of the day. These signs can be subtle, but they build up over time. The danger with mangoes is how easy they are to overeat. Because they're soft, sweet, and refreshing, many people enjoy them in large portions. But the body doesn't measure sweetness by how light a fruit feels it responds to the sugar content, and in mangoes, that content is high. Over time, the sugar in mangoes can contribute to joint pain, slower movement, and that heavy leg sensation seniors often describe. While they may seem like a healthy, natural snack, mangoes might actually be making your legs feel older than they should. The good news: not all fruits are problematic. In fact, some can do the exact opposite: support joint health, fight inflammation, and keep your legs strong and pain-free. Let's take a look at the best fruits for seniors who want to stay mobile and energized. Smart alternatives, fruits that help, not harm. Instead of the 7 fruits we've discussed, consider these options that support circulation, reduce inflammation, and help your body feel more balanced. 1. Berries. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are high in antioxidants and low in sugar. They're gentle on your blood sugar, promote better circulation, and reduce joint stiffness. 2. Cherries. In moderation, cherries can actually lower uric acid levels, helping reduce gout flare-ups and joint discomfort. A handful can go a long way. 3. Avocados. Yes, they're technically a fruit. Avocados are rich in healthy fats that cushion your joints and regulate blood sugar. They're great for sustained energy without sugar crashes. 4. Papaya. This tropical fruit is easy to digest and packed with enzymes that soothe inflammation. It's especially gentle on aging joints and sensitive stomachs. 5. Pears. A mild, subtly sweet fruit that's easy on your system. Pair them with a bit of protein or healthy fat to slow sugar absorption and keep your legs feeling strong. These fruits don't just fill you up, they help heal your body. They reduce discomfort, support circulation, and keep your joints moving freely. Closing thoughts. You still have time to make a change. If you've made it this far, one thing is clear: you care about your future, about your mobility, your comfort, and your health. And I want you to know this: it's never too late. Getting older is not easy. It can feel like your body is gradually slipping away. But the power to change is still in your hands. You don't need to make extreme sacrifices. Just start with smart, mindful decisions. One fruit at a time. The fruits we discussed aren't inherently dangerous, but they might not be the best fit for your body anymore, and that's okay. Aging isn't about giving up, it's about getting smarter. As you start making choices that support your strength and joint health, you'll notice a shift. Lighter steps, easier mornings, less pain. This isn't about fear, it's about freedom. So, let me hear from you. What did you learn today? What are you ready to change? Share in the comments below, because we grow stronger when we support each other. If this video helped you or opened your eyes, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on health information that could transform your life. And before you go, leave a 1 in the comments if this resonated with you. If not, type 0. Your input matters more than you think. Stay strong, stay aware, and remember, your independence starts with your legs.